I'm Adriana Kertzer, and I am a graduate student at the Parsons Cooper Hewitt Master's Program.
I am Barry Goldman, and I work for a real estate investment advisory firm, Black Point Partners.
I had bought a ticket for this APAC charity event. I left the office early, and I actually went home and I showered and I changed clothes and I put on a fresh face of makeup and cleavage, and I went to a bar, and that's where I met Barry.
So she was at the bar talking to a friend of mine.
I was supposed to be introduced to someone else, but he was more interested in my wing girl. And then the second guy thoroughly ignored me and would talk to me like over my shoulder. And then the third guy passed me off like a cold hors d'oeuvre tray to Barry and was like, "Here, Barry, meet Adriana, bye." And then just kind of like extricated himself from the situation. And he was wearing his fedora and his eyeglasses.
I found her very, beautiful and interesting, and I wanted to know more about her. And I asked for her number, and then, waited a couple of days to call. The standard, industry standard 2 days.
Barry did the whole gringo thing where he waited 3 days to call me, and I just rolled my eyes and I could so see through it because like, this is ridiculous. But I'll let him do it.
First day we went to the Guggenheim Museum. And we walked around the museum, and then after the museum, we went to Lady M, which is like a small coffee shop. It was a very kind of sweet, I would say almost like non-New York story. There wasn't a lot of drama, weren't a lot of games.
So that was our first date. He was super sick, so I knew there was no chance of kissing. And then the second date, we went out to dinner, so he was still sick. And then I knew we still couldn't kiss. And it was the third date that we kissed for the first time. After a couple of tequila shots, that's when we kissed for the first time.
I knew that she was someone that I wanted to marry. I wasn't ready yet to, propose, but I knew that she was going to be the one.
3 months in. 3 months in, I knew I wanted to marry him. I even called my dad in Brazil and I said, "Come to New York because I've met the man I want to marry. I want you to meet him."
We got engaged in Kenya about a year ago.
So the first part, we were walking around for 5 days, covered in dust. It was a walking safari. No running water, but we had bucket showers. And after that, we went to a lodge for 2 nights.
I found a cool place there in our lodge that we were staying in, and wrote out a nice little, I don't want to say speech, but composed my thoughts, and got down on one knee and lit some candles, and proposed.
So we're there on the balcony of this cottage overlooking the Meru National Park, and he proposes, and I say, "Of course," but he goes, No, but does that mean yes? And I go, "Of course." But I was just crying uncontrollably because it was very overwhelming. It was very overwhelming, very happy, but at the same time just, wow. Ele é a pessoa com quem eu adoro acordar de manhã e dormir à noite.